Hello everyone, it's Spurs Rail 96 here, and welcome to another TSW3 ROADMAP video. Today Dovetail Games have put out the latest update that concerns the roadmap. So let's take a look at the details. So firstly, let's start with the Midland Mainline, a route I'm certainly looking forward to. Of course, it's been delayed, it's coming later in April. And judging by the details of it, there are some good bits, and there's for me personally a bit disappointing bad bits. So let's firstly start with the timetable, which I suppose is a bad thing for me, really. Now the Skyhook team has able to accurately simulate the 158 and HST playable timetable for the route. Now this equates to 72 playable services for the Class 158 and 59 playable services for the HST, which isn't as much as I thought. I thought there'd be a bit more, really. But if you like variety, thankfully there will be a ton of content layering onto the route, such as 2 playable Class 45 Rail Tour services, 2 playable Class 66 Rail Tour services, 1 Class 66 Freight service, 5 playable Railhead Treatment Train services, and 5 playable Class 37-7 services. And also, as a nice little gimmick, the East Midlands Trains HST will appear as AI at St Pancras on Southeastern High Speed. As far as the process goes, we'll quickly go over that, the process of the collaboration between Dovetail and Skyhook. Now, it seems a fairly collaborative project. Just as Dovetail sought help from the likes of TSG and their beta community on the German content, Dovetail's been able to help and support Skyhook in the Midland Mainline. So, in practical terms, Skyhook have built the groundwork for the 158 and HST by building the models, artwork and animations, and Dovetail has been able to support on the implementation of the man himself, Armstrong Powerhouse. He is bringing his sounds as well as the physics setup and loco setup to the new rolling stock. The 158 in particular will have the same internal destination system as the Birmingham Cross City's BR Class 323, and the Class 43 will also have new Armstrong Powerhouse sourced sounds. That's a big tick for me. I'm so happy that Armstrong Powerhouse has come on board to provide his expertise in the physical, the characteristics of the rolling stock, and crucially the sounds. I'm glad Armstrong Powerhouse has come on board. It certainly will boost the quality of these new trains to the game. Of course, the HST is a different beast internally to the Great Western Express version. So let's now get on to the second steam route for Train Sim World, Peak Forest. It is now deep in development, and it's going to be a very different prospect to Spirit of Steam. It's set in 1963 in the latter stages of dieselisation of the British railways. The Peak Forest route will provide a more challenging steam experience whilst offering incredible scenery into the bargain. Dovetail have incorporated banking operation into service mode to navigate steep inclines, and there will be a scenario featuring double heading operations. It aims to bring new dynamics to steam under the breathtaking backdrop of the beautiful Derbyshire countryside. As far as the timetable for Peak Forest is concerned, there will be banking operations, like I said, in scenarios, and it will be part of the timetable mode. Now, the timetable is based on a 1963 timetable, very accurate there, well, very exact, I should say. They have made some tweaks, Dovetail, to make it, work. They have a lack of sources, sadly, for the freight timetable for 1963. So it's meant Dovetail has had to take a best guess approach based on the photographs they've sourced from the time. But hopefully Dovetail has replicated the other parts of the timetable as close as possible. There will be no diesel locomotives in the pack, and there will be no diesels layered on to the Peak Forest route at all. That's scenarios and timetables included. The steam physics will be improved. They are going to improve specifically the firing and general operation for the release of the LMS Fowler 4F in particular, and they plan to add these improvements to the Spirit of Steam route and the West Cornwall Rail Tour route, so you get more of a consistent experience. Now, let's get on to probably what is the worst kept secret. when it comes to new content, and that is the Thameslink BR Class 700. It is coming to Train Sim World in the summer, so it's going to be a fair way off yet before we get our hands on it. Now, as you can see, the skeleton has been built, and Dovetail's next step is to make it, well, work on Southeastern High Speed's timetable. They are quite a way off from talking features, audio and setup at the moment, but when they have, well, make sure to stick around on the channel, because I'll be certainly dropping those juicy details for you all. Dovetail has also announced a Easter mastery event to celebrate, the Easter period at the moment, which is basically find 15 eggs for a giant Easter bunny in the training center, and you'll find, Easter themed livery decals and a mastery scenery thing. Not really interests me, but I thought I'd share it with you anyway. As far as core improvements and content patches, Dovetail has added the add-ons manager to the PlayStation 4. Xbox and PC is next on the list. As far as the HST designer compatibility is concerned, they hope to bring it with the release of the Midland Mainline in April, which is pretty good. Now, the Peninsula Corridor and Oakville subdivision and the Baby Bully services are now being bundled all together, as they are caused by a same UI issue. Now, whilst Dovetail has not made any progress since the last roadmap on this issue, it's something hopefully the preservation crew will be investigating as soon as they can. As far as post-release content, there is a patch that's being released for the Northeast Corridor, New York, Trenton, which includes various improvements to the safety systems, such as ACSES, ATC, tutorial improvements, passenger improvements, and there were also some improvements to the Amtrak Acela Express. You better check out the forums for the details. Just to put it to you, I'm afraid to say there is no improvements, no changes whatsoever to New York Trenton's timetable. Very disappointed by that. I thought they would at least have a stab at that, add a bit more AI to it, but they haven't, and I'm very gutted by that, very disappointed. There's also a couple of patches coming to the Loco Bundle number 2. There'll be new scenarios for the Railbow German trains. The one with the rainbow stripe and the environment green stripe on the BR Class 406 and the ICE-1. There will also be a timetable, a brand new timetable for the Cajon Pass BNSF SD70 ACE, which is good, and there are some other improvements coming to Germany's Niedertalbahn and Bremen-Oldenburg. Now, Just Trains have been working hard on producing their first Train Sim World content, and it is a route that's going to be 40 miles long, which is pretty interesting. They haven't, of course, announced what the route's going to be, but it sounds hopefully like it'll be a decent package. TSG is working on post-release improvements for the Niedertalbahn, which will come in a later patch, which will improve performance improvements, allowing consoles to activate PZB as well. And finally, another new route has been announced in the roadmap, and that is another United Kingdom route, this time being made by Dovetail Games, and it's another modern 2011 plus route, which is pretty good. And there we are. That pretty much concludes this roadmap video. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more Train Sim World content from me. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Take care.